we're rolling right into our poke-adjacent topic, which is why we invited you here today. For everybody out there,
And I'm not supposed to see you right now, right?
you can't
Oh, I'm
see
sorry. You're actually trying to talk.
you can't see anything whatsoever. Yeah, Chris, I told you we're effing it and we're doing it live.
Sorry.
Chris can't see anything, but Chris, everybody else can see whoever is prominently speaking between you and Jesse, and then my face is on screen all the time because I don't know how to change that. So, poke adjacent topic, which just to remind you is not supposed to be like persuasive, and it's barely supposed to be informative. Although since Chris is here this week, I imagine it's going to be more informative than usual. We're just paying homage to something we like. And my friend Jesse really loves Batman Beyond, and I happen to have another friend named Chris Ford, a.k.a. the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter, who also loves Batman Beyond. So this week, that's our poke adjacent topic. And Jesse, I figured I'd let you kind of start it off, just tell us what Batman Beyond means to you, why you like it.
Yeah.
And then I'll let Chris give what I presume is a thorough diatribe.
I will start. And first, let me mourn that Batman Beyond did not last longer than it did. It only lasts for like 3-4 years, like 1999 to 2001, I want to say. And it's like, it's just the perfect setup for a future Batman. You have elderly Bruce Wayne who ends up like taking on Terry Guinness, who becomes the Batman Beyond of the title of the show. It's the right amount of cyberpunk, sci-fi, cars are flying everywhere. It has the right kind of like energy and lights and colors. It's what I want a Batman show to be. And it's got a little more like if I remember right, and I watched a few clips and I can't remember exactly, but I want to say he kills people left and right. And one of Batman's big things is supposed to be, not killing people, whatever, debatable. But like, I love that it's just like it's already harsher. It has a harsher tone, and I'd give anything to see we've had Batman a million times. Give me a Batman Beyond that's live action. We're fortunate.
Oh, I would
like a few additional comics like Batman Beyond Rebirth, but
yeah,
give me some more stuff. I want more Batman Beyond.
I would absolutely love a Batman Beyond movie. I think that's where it could take another step. Like it can be so separate from any other movie because it takes place in the future, and just a new take on Batman that would be great for this generation. But my history of Batman Beyond, I love Batman Beyond. I think let me go back to when it first debuted on Kids WB. So it ran on Kids WB Saturday mornings, but its debut episode, I think, premiered on a Friday night. It was at a nighttime. So I remember thinking like, this is strange. Like they premiered the two first episodes. I remember watching on WB or UPN. I think it was WB definitely at that point. I remember watching it prime time, and I thought this is so strange to watch this kid's cartoon at prime time. Like it was so cool. It made it feel like an event, and so that was really cool. And then, yeah, just some Batman fans don't like Batman Beyond because Terry's different from Bruce, right? And the thing I love about Terry is that he is different from Bruce. Like Bruce Wayne and Batman is like people call him Bat God for a reason sometimes because he's thinking 10 steps ahead of everybody else. He's thought of like dozens of ways to take out not only his enemies but his friends in case they ever go corrupt. Terry McGinnis is like, I am just learning. Like I am fallible. I might get my butt beat a bunch of times, but he's gonna try. And he got so much spunk to him. He hasn't trained with the best fighters ever and the best martial artists in the world. He's just a rough and tough kid who can throw hands, who tries to do good. Also, he grew up in a bad past. Like he went to juvie. he was headed down a different path that somewhat being Batman took him away from. It's interesting. In a alternate comic book, he goes to an alternate universe where his self doesn't become Batman. It's a really good take. But one of my favorite, I don't know if you've seen this episode of Justice League Unlimited. One of my favorite episodes of anything ever, even including Avatar, including anything. My favorite episode is this Justice League episode called Epilogue. It takes place about 10 or 15 years after the events of Batman Beyond. And Bruce is like really old and stuff. And it starts off, Terry is breaking into, if you know who Amanda Waller is, she's the head, she runs the Suicide Squad, but she's done other shady stuff also. He breaks into her place and he's like, you need to tell me why me and Bruce share this certain, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet, because it's one of my favorite episodes. Like, he goes to her and is like asking her, and one thing, she's kind of a villain. He's asking her like, why does me and Bruce Wayne share a certain parts of our DNA together? And she's like, oh, well, she tells him this whole long, elaborate story. I won't ruin it for you. It's a really good, really great story. But I'm busy right now. It's okay. I'll be there in a minute.
When you have Chris Ford on, you get more than one guest, and that's why it gets really colorful.
But the thing I love about that episode is that it paints Batman, and not only Bruce Wayne but Terry, in the light of saying like these two characters are absolutely needed for the world of DC. Like, not because they're Batman, but because of who they are inside. Like, they're so important. Also, one of the things I love about Terry, so many people have taken up the mantle of Batman, but to me, Terry is like the only one out of them that I think he does it the best. I love some other ones. A recent one in the comic books is Jace Fox, who's the son of Lucius Fox. He's really good. When Dick takes over the mantle of Batman, Dick, a.k.a. Robin, a.k.a. Nightwing, that always feels temporary. He's always just kind of like in that mantle until Bruce comes back or something. It never feels right. It never feels I don't know. It never feels complete. It always feels like, all right, I'm just feeling issues right now. But to me, Terry fully encompasses what it means to be Batman. And more stuff about Batman. I love Batman Beyond. I have like all these statues.
Chris, your microphone might have fallen off, but we can still generally hear you.
There we go. I hate this thing.
Perfect.
But so how much statues of Batman Beyond? And also other Bruce Batman stuff. I have the action figure mobile of it, which I love. This thing it is like very slick. Probably costs $100 now on eBay. I forgot when I bought that, but it was a long time ago. But absolute love Batman Beyond.
I have just a couple of like I can't contribute anything in conversation because I've like zero experience with Batman Beyond. So I have just a couple of like Wikipedia caliber pieces here, which is that I have January 10th, 1999 for the debut, 52 episodes across 3 seasons, and then lots and lots and lots of crossovers and things like that, and multiple groups of comics or different comic series that he's in, and a couple of video games, some of which are allegedly very good, and one of which is allegedly very bad. I've not played any of them. That's my contribution to this conversation. Chris, I'm getting the sense of some Korra versus Aang in the different same role, different person, and maybe not everybody likes to accept that open-mindedly.
Exactly. I think a lot of people misjudge or mistreated Korra because of her predecessor. And I feel like Terry kind of gets that same thing. Like, nostalgia is a strong drug. When people are on it, they don't want to give it up. And I'm not saying that Terry or Korra doesn't deserve their fair share of criticism, but I feel like the criticism that their predecessors deserve doesn't get levied against them as well.
Seems a little misweighted. Jesse, are you there?
Yeah.
Excellent. Any final thoughts, special memories of Batman Beyond?
I remember one episode in particular that has stuck with me for years and years, and it's Terry ends up getting some like stupid home ec class thing.
I knew you were gonna say the egg baby. I knew you were gonna say the egg baby for some reason.
It's so good. He's running around with that egg baby backpack and he's trying to make sure it doesn't get broken. And it's just great. The way he talks to it, Daddy's got to go to work. I just love it. It's so stupid.
That's kind of messed up.
That episode, it's funny because that's like because I follow a lot of animators and creators on Twitter, and I think they're really saying like that might be the only episode that they actually won an award on, even though like a lot of fans don't like that episode. But he's like, hey, we it was fairly successful, and people still talk
That's
about it.
amazing.
Critical
Shawn,
acclaim.
that one is worth looking up. You should look that one up and watch it. You should watch the whole thing.
I mean,
I'm
at some
not
point,
watching the
I'll
whole
watch
thing.
the whole thing, but I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I have at least 2 humans in my life that like to recommend that I watch a lot of things. And I really like football to an extent that I have a hard time explaining. Before I joined this call, I was watching Buffalo versus Northern Illinois live on a Wednesday
Holy
night.
crap, Shawn, that sounds terrible.
It was a good game, and that's my biggest issue in life is that I want to watch more things than I can watch. But this is on my list. It's up there. Chris has had me watch at least 1 feature-length film. I'm thinking even 2.
Yes.
Can't recall. And
Jesse, have you seen that episode Justice League Unlimited Epilogue?
I have not.
Okay, yeah, look it up. It's actually there's a lot of great Batman Beyond episodes in Justice League. There is and also in Static Shock they do a lot of great crossovers. I'm actually wearing the Static Shock shirt today.
I saw
Just pure coincidence. Just all kids WB this morning. So there's an episode called Once in a Future Thing. It's a 2-parter. Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern has to go capture this time traveling guy because he's ruined up the time stream and everything. And he goes in the future, and there's such a great scene of like Batman introducing old man Bruce Wayne to Batman, and it's just really cool. And both of them pretty much are angry at Terry, but like, quiet, not now. and he's like what? And then
Batman speaking. Bat
yeah,
elders.
there's one scene where the past Batman is interrogating a scarecrow, and he has like he's like dangling this guy off of a rooftop, and then the scarecrow guy is like, hey, we've seen files about you, like we heard you don't kill, like you're not that big bad, like why are you the boogeyman? And then old man Bruce Wayne grabs him and he's like, boom, like listen, you're gonna talk, punk, or something. And then it cuts, and like he's just telling them everything they need to know because old Bruce Wayne is way more intimidating than
well,
Batman.
He's old. He ain't got time for anybody's shit. It's
Exactly.
on a timer.
But that's a good one. And then Epilogue. It's one of my. It's one of those episodes I go back and I watch. It has my favorite Batman moment in any medium, any movie of all time in that episode.
Is that the one with the girl on
Wow.
swing?
Yeah.
That's the one I watched. Which, I gotta be honest, the main reason I remember is because of that moment. Fellas, final thoughts? Final wrap-ups? I know
You should
it's
check out
not...
Batman Beyond if you haven't seen it. It's a blast.
That's fair.
Yes. If you want to do just an abridged version, to try and get like some of the whole story, watch episode 1 and 2, probably 3, and then watch Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, and then watch Epilogue. But you should really watch. You should really watch the whole thing. The whole thing is good.
Is it on a particular streaming service at this point?
It is on HBO Max.
Ah, yes, the one I steal from Chris. Perfect.